Hive Mind Network Online, Channel 0093. Secure uplink initiated.
And you might know me as Spoonlord on Discord, and I'm here with Codex,
Hello.
and we're gonna show you some little new stuff this week. Nothing incredible, but little stuff that
I
we
don't know,
did.
man. I think it's pretty incredible. I
Thank
don't
you.
even know what you're showing.
But
But whatever you made, it's incredible, I'm
yeah,
sure.
we have made like a lot of little adjustment. Just like instead of a big adjustment, a big feature, it's a little feature, little adjustment that we made a bit everywhere. But I still wanted to share with you guys what we've been working on, because like we're really like nailing down pretty much what we want for the academy. As you know, that we've been working really hard on that. And we're also going to talk today about DEF CON, that Codex
Yeah.
was there, if I'm not mistaken.
You are not mistaken. I was there and it was heckin' cool.
Well, I'm glad for that. So, quickly, what I wanted to show. Um, so if I go right there in the academy, um, I don't especially remember last week if we showed like the new badges, but those are like the official badges for some categories.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we showed them a little bit last week,
okay,
but they're pretty cool.
that's great. And maybe we showed like the map that was like a non-interactive JPEG. Now, if you can see through my screen, you have now really like your progress more like a skill tree. And if you select,
Oh,
if you,
sorry.
it's alright. And if you select
It's
like,
pretty.
if you select a map, you have like your certification. Sorry, you'll have your certification highlighted, and that's pretty much it. And the percentage that you need to do to that remains to be done to finish that certification.
Yeah, last time we just had like PowerPoint flowcharts there. Now we've got a real map.
Yeah, it's
It's slick.
thank you.
Hello, Balamung, who made it into the chat.
So we figured that we wanted to look more like a, I guess like a skill tree of some sort.
Yeah.
So that's, I think that pretty much nails it visually and with the little animations and the cool stuff, and it updates in real time and all that good stuff. Um, so that's pretty much it. If I, let's say, we've also been
Slow
working
and steady.
exactly, and I'm gonna try something. Just
Uh-oh, trying things.
yeah, exactly. Because I haven't tested the final version of this animation, so I'm not sure it's gonna come out good. But
In which
basically,
Patrice breaks everything.
exactly, it may break.
It might break, that's
And
fine.
but basically, what we want to do is that when you have your complete animation, you want it just to have like an in between, because before when you finish the training, you would go back immediately to your certification, which is this. But we want people to be able to look at what they did, so we just made like an input that you just have to click on, and you go back to the academy, or you can either click on those buttons and it will bring you back also. So if I do my last objective, which is and like I don't know if the visual is gonna be 100% that either. It's pretty much a little work in progress. We haven't been working on it for a long time. It's just
Beautiful. I'm so proud of you.
yeah. So that's pretty much it. And you have your button to go back to your certification. So if you click on that,
It's such a beautiful button.
it is the most beautiful button. Um, and that's pretty much it. So that's the little some of the tweaks we made, and we worked a lot also on the back end to start to migrate some elements to be more dynamic with our future backend that we're gonna have for 19.4. So we did some stuff on that also, and that's pretty much it. As I shall probably already talked about maybe on Discord. We're ready for some stuff. like content stuff to finish the academy, which is pretty much like I think
Yeah,
voiceovers,
the
text.
voiceover stuff he was talking about.
Yeah, there's voiceover, there's a text, there's like, and we're still like testing the objective, trying to think what are the best ways to have them, if they're cool enough, if they're great enough to keep people playing them. So we're all about on the edge of those, but like the technicality of it, it's pretty much cool. It's in
Yeah, I
general
mean, it's
pretty much.
clearly functional.
Yeah, exactly. You could. It's more than functional. It's pretty much there. So that's pretty much it for the new stuff I had to show. I don't know if I have around the top of my head. I don't think we add any more visual stuff, at least to show for now. So I'm gonna let Codex talk about DEF CON, how it went, more some info on that, and I think that we could have some kind of QA also in between for if you have any questions for us, for especially the academy development or anything.
Yeah, definitely throw those questions in the chat because I'm watching there and I can relay them.
Cool. So take it off.
Yeah, so when I was talking with Patrice earlier, you didn't even know what DEF CON was, I guess.
Not a lot. Not the I am not the best hacker in the world.
That's okay.
I'm just
You're a
developing.
pretty good game developer. That's what you really need to be.
Exactly.
But yeah, it was a hacking conference that I went to out in Las Vegas. I was there a couple days early because I actually went to Black Hat, which is sort of like the corporate version. Because our friends at Go Secure had a booth there, so I got to demo NITE Team 4 to a lot of like industry people, which was kind of cool.
Hmm.
They set us up with like a demo platform, and it was a good time. People really liked it there. Um, and then DEF CON was more of a sort of a casual social experience for me,
It
which was
must be,
weird.
but it must have been really cool though to just like.
Yeah, it was really cool. There was all these different CTFs going on, which is capture the flag. Basically, it's you have to do something to get a specific piece of data. And so there's all these different villages inside the show that are like community run, like micro conventions.
Hmm.
Um, so like DEF CON itself, they do talks and the talks are recorded and they're put online, in the wintertime. And then each different village has talks and some of them have workshops, like DEF CON has workshops. Um, and so you could hop around to all these different villages and you could like learn to solder.
Yeah.
Or you could, play in the packet hacking village and play capture the packet. Um,
Which is kind
the
of cool.
wireless village had their CTF had people like, I think that they were trying to get people to connect to wireless networks, or they were trying to connect to wireless networks. I don't know. All I know is that they had people walking around the con for this CTF with like Raspberry Pis with huge antennas attached to them
Hmm.
to get points. It was really funny.
That's cool. So, well, on my hand, like I said, I'm not like the best hacker in the universe, but I always wanted to try CTF. Once I get like more knowledge on the matter. But
Yeah. I know that one of our players was doing like introductory CTFs at one point, which was kind of cool. I think it was Berserk Zero was doing them.
oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I went to like a conference about that. Well, actually, I was supposed to go to like I thought which was like a conference. Well, it was actually a like a CDF like thing.
Oh,
No,
cool.
but the problem is that like me and my friends, we thought that it was like just a conference, so we didn't brought like your computers or anything.
Oh,
So we're like the only
yeah.
ones with no computers, and we were just
Sitting
like,
there twiddling your thumbs.
yeah, well, we just like, they gave like the instruction, they talk a bit, and then when it started, we just like kind of going away because we couldn't do anything with our cell phones. You can't.
Yeah.
I already did it once. I tried to like program on my cell phone with like a DE, but it's not it's not that
Not
conventional.
the easiest thing.
It's not the funniest thing either. It's not super fun to do.
Yeah, I didn't bring a laptop with me either, which I regretted.
Yeah,
I didn't bring one because I don't usually use a laptop, but then when I got there, I was like, man, I want to play with all these toys, but I don't have a way to interface with them. So
yeah.
I think if I go again, I'm bringing a laptop.
But what I do like now is to bring it always with me at those kind of conventions because you just never know, when you.
Yeah, it's useful to have with you. Just something you can start hacking.
Exactly.
I'm not a hacker. Is it obvious?
Hacker girl. So.
It's me, you're a hacker. One cool thing that I did do. So I did a couple of things there, like for me versus like for showing things to the players. Because while I was there, I was updating our Twitter like crazy. I don't know if any of you guys have looked back on our Twitter feed, but it's full of DEF CON stuff, just like different cool stuff that I spotted and interact with while I was there. But a couple cool things off screen, like I went down to the car hacking village at one point.
Yeah.
And so there's this, just rewind a little bit, there's this huge culture around badges at DEF CON where all the different villages and then sometimes individuals or community groups will make these custom printed circuit boards with like LEDs and microprocessors, and you put AA batteries into them, and they're these like blinky glowy, they've got puzzles and games and different nonsense inside of them. Like the wireless village had one that it looked for other badges because all of the badge makers have this agreed upon standard for badge communication.
Mm-hmm.
And so it like would look for other badges and try to say hi to them. And if it was a badge that could say hi back, it would say hi back.
That's cool.
But I went down to the car hacking village, and their badge, it's like a long wrench with a bunch of LEDs.
Okay.
And it had an OBD2 port, which is the same kind of port you would use to do diagnostics on a car.
Okay.
And basically, when you plug this badge into like a diagnostic tester, it pretends to be a car. It emulates a car. And so you can use something like a Cantact. What are you doing?
I just discovered that.
That's a fun bug.
Well, yeah, it's more like a. We do have
It's a
sometimes.
feature.
Yeah, it's a feature. It's it's really hard to do actually, but you have to like.
Skills.
There's some animations in the game that you can spam. That you'll kind of like break in between the process, so it look like that a bit, which is kind of funny, but it's not like game breaking or anything, so it works.
Yeah, I mean it's still functional. It's just like what?
Like there's another one. I think if I do that, if I spam my escape button, it slows my animation.
Oh, that's funny.
But yeah, like it will always work. It's just that
Weirdly.
yeah, you're just like repeating the process, so it's trying to like cope
Yeah.
with what you're
Trying to catch up with your button mashing.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, the car badge. Basically, the idea was the badge, you could hack it, but to hack it you had to like pretend you were hacking a car.
Okay.
So to hack this badge, you have to hack it like it's a car. There's badges are ridiculous. They're awesome and ridiculous.
That's kind of cool. So
I'm gonna have to bring them with me the next time I come up there because
in Texas,
you gotta see these.
I'll go in Texas if you pay the ticket, of course.
Well, yeah, the official badge is a circuit board as well. And the whole theme was like 80s.
Oh,
Was,
that's
Mhm.
nice.
Yeah, it was all like 1984 themed or
Oh,
1983 themed. And so all the lanyards had like a 1984 quote on it, and then another quote. There was like three different lanyards for humans, and the goons, who are like the show staff, had a different lanyard.
that's yeah. I do like those the retro feels of the 80s. I do like.
Yeah, it was cool. And
You're
like
on.
all the badges, the official badges had like a puzzle
Mhm.
that you had to, it was like a challenge. And to solve the challenge, you had to use these, it had like physical connectors on it. So you
Mhm.
had to link your badge with badges of different kinds.
Okay.
So there's the human badge, which is general admission, and then there's CFP, which is call for papers.
Okay.
So they like review all of the submissions for the show. And then there's a press badge. There's an artist badge, which they're pretty rare. The goon badge, obviously. There's like 6 badges total.
Oh, it's like the
A speaker
academy.
badge too, yeah. Yeah.
It's like the
Yes.
academy. You have the badges right there. Oh,
Yeah, but you had to like physically link them together and it would change different things on like in the puzzle.
well, like in 1940, you have to physically play the game with your hand to access your badges.
The people that I talked to and am still talking to from this show about the game seemed really interested in it. So I think that it was a good trip
Yeah,
overall.
and I think it
Um,
was worthwhile, especially if you talk to people about 1940. I think that's the right place to do so.
yeah, well, there was so much discourse going on about how, you know, security isn't buying like new blinky flashy toys and paying a bunch of money to a vendor.
Hmm.
Like to be secure, you have to fix the basic stuff. And to do that, it starts from the bottom and raising awareness. And something like the game, which, it makes you pretty aware of how different attacks can play out, it's a pretty valuable tool just for general community awareness of how hacks hackify.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of the point of 1940 is really to let people know that there's actually a cyber war going on, and
Yeah, man.
that you
Cyber warfare.
and you need to be aware of that and have the knowledge of that because you never know when some ransomware can strike your computer. You
Yeah.
need to send like 1,000 Bitcoin to some random people, and
Alternatively, you just restore from a backup and hope that the ransomware didn't get to your backups.
that would be really shitty. But it would be truly horrible. But
Remember, guys, off-site disconnected backups.
yes.
Very important.
Yeah, I was a little forget some ransomware because of my computer. I don't have enough bitcoins, as in I have no bitcoins, so I couldn't survive such a attack.
Zero Bitcoin.
I have zero bitcoins, but I do have real money. But it's not as much as 1,000 bitcoins. I think that's a lot of 1,000
That's
bitcoins.
a lot of money. Yeah.
Yeah, if I had that kind of money, I don't know what I would do. I would just have all that money. So that's pretty cool. I don't know if you had it.
Another. Hmm?
Did you have any questions on your side? What we talked?
Yeah. Is there any questions from the peanut gallery other than when's the next update? Because we are working on it. I think you swear.
Yes, we are working on it a lot. Um,
The next update will come when we're ready to release it.
yeah,
We
exactly.
are aiming for like what, like October for the Academy? That's what I heard.
Uh,
But now with the VA thing, I don't even know.
I can't say any date right now for you because to quickly explain it at some point uh like the only thing we're missing are the voices. Well, like I said, it's actually that's the thing that we're missing, like all the content stuff, and while we're waiting for that, well, we have time to start implementing some new stuff, but like we really want to like not only have the content but have the coolest objective, the coolest introduction to the game. We can really want to like have the new players experience really immersive. Because like for example, the first time you come to the game after the login, right now there's nothing, and we want to add like a really immersive introductory video to really immerse the new player, and that's the kind of things that we're trying to do. We're really like trying to have
Yeah,
the first.
we like to have like heavy immersion in the
Exactly,
game.
and especially for your first, like let's say, your first feel of the game, the first time you open it after having your account, you really want to uh, like be immersed. And the problem is that if the first thing you see is your desktop or like this empty,
It's like,
it's
what is this?
yeah, it's a bit confusing. It's not really immersive. You just don't know, like maybe you don't even realize that you're in an OS actually. So that's those are the kind of things that we just want to make sure that everyone's on the same page.
Yeah,
Everyone's
yeah,
uh like immersed in the this world. So that's all the things we're also working on, and like I promise you that the reason why we're still like we could have like we don't want to release a less good
we're not gonna release an unfinished game. That's the long and short of it.
or an unfinished like part of an unfinished part, important part of the game. Like if it's really
Yeah,
important, like the academy, we want it to be clear, functional, and fun. And if like we have to wait for it to be completed with all its content, we're just gonna work on stuff on the side
yep.
to because there's so many like there's so much stuff that we want to do in the game that we may not have time before release. So what it gives us is well me like let's say as a developer it's time to have let's say new some little new modules on the side, so maybe start to working on
Yeah, I
other
know there's a lot of stuff that is sort of on the want to do list.
exactly. So
Um,
so we're always uh like aiming to do more
yeah,
like even if we don't have any we don't have the right content or the right voices the
yeah.
voiceovers but yeah, that's pretty much or I think
So,
are blocking right now. The thing that's blocking us it's the content, but that's kind of minor. The real thing is to be sure that it's
but,
actually fun, you know?
but Patrice,
Yes,
can I
oh yeah,
interject?
sorry.
Thank you, thank you. You've been rambling. Um, I had another question. That's why, rather than continuing on the same topic
Yes.
forever. So one of the players wanted to know if we thought about sort of making part of the puzzle of the game having to change some of the code in the game, and so I know I think the answer to this, but I'd like to hear from your perspective.
Yeah, can you just repeat the question? I'm not sure.
So some games have mechanics where you have to go into the actual like game files and alter things like from your desktop.
Oh, okay, yeah. I think I understand. Like, let's say you have to go, let's in the like a, I'd say like a notepad thing, and you just do
Yeah,
it, right?
like
I don't know.
I don't know, like there's some games where, you know, deleting a file from an internal folder for the game will have in-game consequences.
That
That sort of thing.
yeah, that could be cool. That could be a cool idea. I think that that could
Well,
be interesting, but I don't like that. That would of course require
I
like that.
don't think it would work with the way that the game is written right now though, because isn't it all mostly server side?
Yes and no. Well, we can always manage stuff, but like it could like we could like have something to work with that, of course. But is it in your priority? And do we have something that actually like why would you go and do that to your game? It's like why would you go and do that? I have no idea. And like right on the top of my head, I have no I have no mission or objective that would require to do that. It's really, I think I don't know, but it could be
It's
cool.
a cool mechanic, but I don't know if it would necessarily make sense in 19.4 because the whole idea with the Stinger OS is it's like a separate operating system.
Mm,
It's almost it should feel like a separate machine from your machine.
yeah. but like because we do want to have some ARG elements in the game and in general, but I don't
Yeah,
know if this is going to be one of them.
it's a good thought.
Yes, exactly.
Something to think about. Um, Another question, randomized servers, like procedurally generated hive mind servers. Is that a thought?
Uh,
That's a
everything,
scary thought.
everything's a thought. Is it doable? Well,
Eh,
because yes, it is. Like, if I think about it right now, it's doable. But like, would it be
would it be
fun?
fun? Yeah.
Like, right now, we're still like, we haven't finished like the complete idea of what the hive mind is supposed to do. I think there's some
Yeah, there's still work to do on the hive minds.
in general. So unless that's done, I don't think we're gonna have like a cool like procedurally generated server, because otherwise that would be like pretty much the same with different info. That's pretty
Yeah.
that's what it would do, and I don't think that would be as fun as, let's say, we have all the features we would want in the hive mind, and we could have like it's like a procedurally generated mission that
I
you.
think if that happens, it would be much further down the release roadmap than we are currently planning.
Yeah, exactly. It won't, like, let's say it won't happen for October, that I can assure you.
No,
Or
definitely not for
or
October.
it won't happen.
That would be like post general release.
Yeah, exactly. Because we're still gonna, of course, work in the game, and
Yeah,
but no, I don't think. But I think yes, it is a cool idea. I know that for sure in the Kickstarter, and at some point we do want to have some procedurally generated missions or stuff
yeah,
procedurally
I know it
generated
was
in
a stretch
general.
goal that we didn't actually get to, I don't think,
No, we didn't get that.
but it's still cool.
But yeah, if we do manage to like get to that point, even after the Kickstarter, like why not do it? Because we obviously love the game and we want it to be its best it can. So if we get to there, we'll do it. But it's a long way to get there.
Yeah, a lot of work to get to that point. So,
So that's pretty much it for this question.
yeah, I don't know if there were other so one of the things in the past that we mentioned was people being able to make their own programs or solutions to some of the later challenges. I think, are you talking about the crafting system we talked about at one point?
Yeah, we talk about like at what point like a crafting system. And I know that in the alpha version of the game there was like a hidden module. Well, not a hidden, like there's a menu tab called scripting, but those things, like, we don't have anything to really craft stuff right now. The closest thing to crafting anything is right now in Fox Acid, as you're crafting your attack. But that's it. We don't have like anything for crafting as of now. But definitely that could be cool if you could write your own programs and anything for. But as the randomly generated hive minds, I think that's later down the road. But yeah, it could
Yeah,
be
I
cool.
know that we are or were, I don't know if we're still considering this a thing, planning on having sort of hidden connections that you can draw between different missions, even in different theaters,
Hmm.
where it's, it's not necessarily tied to a specific mission, but it's like different pieces of information that you could use to put together a case file on, this additional thing that
Oh,
maybe is going on in the background, but
are you talking about the Intel?
yeah, well, not necessarily Intel. I'm talking about like the case files system,
Okay.
where
Well,
right now it's tied to missions.
yeah, yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. If you could have like some, we did have a talk about it. Could be cool to have like a general case file.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's probably not be. It's gonna be probably in the form of a general intel. That's one thing that we plan. We wanted to have like, uh, let's say a huge, let's say map of entities, and they're all linked together with their info, and that's one of the things we have planned. So that would be like your general case file, if I might say that. every like that company is linked with those person with this and that. So you would not only see the entities, you would see the links between them, and you
Mhm.
could navigate through them. That's one of the things we have planned, but I can't say for sure when we'll
Yeah, may or
start
may not be
developing.
there for the initial.
Um,
It might not be there right away.
in my nut, but it would be cool. That's of
Yeah.
course. So is there anything else?
Um. So I'm seeing some chatter about like coding in game or anything like that. As far as I know, we talked about automation, scripting, coding, that kind of thing a while back. And I don't think it's something that's in the game right now. And
No.
if it does end up in the game, it will be a lot further down the road.
Yeah, it's not right now in the game. It's
That's
gonna
like
be.
a post-release stretch goal, sort of like the procedurally generated hive minds and that sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Like it would be great to have it right away, but
It's a
uh,
nice to have sort of thing, but it's not
right now it's
a
on.
core functionality for the game as we've currently built it.
No, exactly. It's not gonna be there right now. But yeah, like we said, there's so many things we want to do. We're just trying to keep our priorities straight and go it step by step. And in the end, and then like in a while you'll see how much the game will evolve, and once again you can
Yeah.
have all those cool features that we're talking about right now. It's just we need to do them one step at a time, the right way, with the right design, the right content, and that's pretty much it.
So we have a question about outside of client stuff to do, like we have in Black Watchmen. I know that that's something that is desired.
Yeah.
Um, don't know how far along we are on designing that or implementing that, but that's sort of, breaking the fourth wall, the game is in real life feeling is something that we are constantly chasing.
Yeah.
And generally, when you see in missions or theaters real life interactions, most all of them right now say minimal, but ones that are going to require, visiting websites or doing whatever other shenanigans will most likely say there, like real life interactions, moderate or extreme,
Extreme.
ultra,
Ultra.
hyper rare. I don't know.
But yeah, definitely we do want to have um we do want to have like ARG's element and
Yeah,
external stuff
because
and
like
like
ARGs are what we like to do.
yeah, exactly. We do a lot of those. So I do I do hope there it's gonna be there in some form or another. I have no idea like how it would go. I think that in the alpha version of the game we had like one or two missions that you needed I think to go like
Yeah, the
on
Russian
Google Map.
connection missions.
You had to
Yeah,
go.
there's a Google map, but when I was working on the hidden missions, the Russian
Yeah,
hidden missions,
yeah,
we had the Russian Facebook page that I
yeah.
put together, which was super fun to put together and follow a bunch of bots and get them to follow me back. So it looked like, ugh, it
Yeah,
was so fun.
but yeah, those are the things that's gonna be probably in the final game, and we always aim for those. So yes, let's say why not? Uh, great. So is there anything else?
I'm gonna give everyone a minute to
Eh, to part
ask
this?
any more questions. So we are here to
Yeah,
chat, to share
for you
for you.
and only for you. So
Because we're closer to the end of the stream, can you show that map again?
yeah,
In
people can
yeah.
like I'm gonna show with the animation. So basically, if I repeat myself again, what it does is it just show like the skill tree of your category you're in. So your trainings are there linked, and if you click on one, you'll see it's highlighted with that kind of with the animation. So
Mhm.
that's
It's
so
very shiny.
it's a pretty simple map, but it's cool that now it's dynamic, and we're gonna have it for like all the other categories, and not only that, it's gonna have its own look because of course the other categories don't have the same amount uh, of trainings. Sometimes there's more, sometimes there's less. So we plan to have like a cool design for each of them and one of them, and it's gonna be cool and simple to implement. So that's a good thing. We do like simple things.
Very shiny.
Yes, great. So
We
that's
do have a quick question about replayability of the game. I don't know. So right now the game is, it's very much sort of like a puzzler where there's an answer and you like iterate through. I think you will be pleasantly surprised with the way that I understand the plot development of the main game is going.
hmm
Um, there's definitely been considerations taken about replayability and sort of giving players an incentive to try things again and go back and make sure they didn't miss things.
hmm
Um,
yeah.
but
Uh,
yeah,
what?
it's right now it's not single player, but it's not like totally open world. We have sort of a plan for open world stuff,
Yeah, exactly.
which is different but cool.
Yeah, what I can say is definitely you're gonna have more stuff than you know that's gonna be in the game. Like not everything's gonna be in
We're
missions.
keeping some things under wraps, so there'll be a happy
Yeah,
surprise.
exactly.
How about
You're
that?
gonna have a lot of secret stuff. That's what we do like to do. We're gonna have like we plan to have like an open world feel that you feel that when you do something it affects the whole like the whole
Yeah, and
thing.
I mean there still is the main plot line, which is like its own thing, but the
Yeah.
open world side of things is
And
connected but different.
yeah, no, it's gonna be it's like how can I explain that? Well, it's gonna be pretty much like I said, an open world feel. So you have your entity. Well, it's like your person. It's that person has a job. That person has things. That person goes to that public service, and that public service is connected to other entities. Like it's all gonna be like an open world, and
It's all interlinked.
exactly, and it's not gonna be like all in the missions, as I might say. But yeah, the mission is like the main story, so you can be immersed in the main storyline. But while you do your missions, or while you're not doing any mission, maybe you can go to you just
There
like
might be other
explore.
stuff.
You can
Yeah.
explore stuff in the game, and you might find stuff that's in the mission, but that's related to. But like it adds more lore to it. So those kind of things we do want to have in the game. And there's also the thing about hive minds. Like we plan to develop more about the hive mind, about its functionality, and
Mhm.
like it's been said like earlier that we would love to have like something kind of like procedurally generated hive minds. Even though it's not gonna
But
be
keeping
now.
in mind, hive minds right now are not done.
Yeah, exactly.
There's
But
a lot to be done on hive minds, and
exactly,
when they are done, they're going to be awesome.
exactly. And there's also the thing about there's some modules so that needs to be done, and there's some core functionalities that needs to be done. But like in the in a perfect world that the game's already done and we're releasing it, you would have some like procedurally generated stuff, and you would have those open world stuff and the main storyline with the academy and the mission center, and all those would be kind of link one to another in some form or another. So that would be like the perfect scenario of like the game being done. I think for me personally, that we have that huge story, like that huge immersive story, that real cool academy tutorial, and to have like all those hidden stuff. And not necessarily so hidden. Some of them really would be. Some of them would be less. But you would have always something to do, like more than just playing the missions.
Yeah.
So that's I think would be the one of the best scenarios for the game. But
Yeah.
that's
We've got a lot of ground to cover before we get there, obviously.
and one thing that I've been talking about is also all the multiplayer factor that I've been talking about, and the fact that you're gonna be able, let's say, to join a faction and to enter a kind of a faction war, and to be
Mhm.
able to have some kind of PvP in the game against
Which again,
factions,
it's
securing.
not even close to done. It's pretty far down the development pipeline right now, as
But
far as I understand.
so, and that would be continuous because you would have your faction, and when like you
Yeah.
could have some kind of events that that happen in the
Yeah, there could be
PvP world.
random events. There could be,
and,
player
and
planned events.
and let's say your faction has to gather resources, so you ask servers and you try to get those resources before other players, and it's king of the hill, so you the first faction that gets far enough and the hacking line gets the server.
To be clear, this is just one idea of how this might work.
Yeah,
Not at
exactly.
all like promises or
No,
plans
no,
or
no.
anything.
Exactly. No,
Just
exactly.
saying that for the record.
Yeah, exactly. We're like, I'm just like brainstorming live
Yeah,
on stream right now.
you're out loud. I'm
Brain.
here to give the asterisk like maybe.
Yeah, exactly. But like that's another way to have more replayability. And if all of this is in the game, that would be really great. So let's see. We just like we're waiting for having all the right tools at the right time and all the right things to be able to start putting this in place.
I have a question about testers for NITE Team 4. I don't know if we're still taking people for playtesting. The best way to tell would be to try to access that survey link, and if it's still open, then yeah.
If not, not.
If not, then no.
Because I do think we had like test, like I
Yeah,
had
we've got like
testers.
actual QA people now, which is
Yeah,
great.
yeah, that's cool. But I don't
Dedicated QA folks is amazing.
exactly. But I don't know if they're like what
I don't know if
they're.
we're continuing playtesting with the QA. That would be honestly that'd be a question for NHL
Yeah,
out of
exactly.
anyone. If
And
you can get a hold of him, he's so busy.
exactly. And I don't know if like you'll be able to if we do need like other QAs more than we have right now.
I mean, we have what, 2 right now. I don't know what. Yeah, I don't.
Well, I think actually we have like 2 or 3. But I think that maybe it might be more than enough. But you can also like what I suggest is what Godey says. Just try it like anyway.
Yeah.
Like, you
See if the forum link it opens. See if it links to the survey. If it does apply, it doesn't hurt to apply, even if
exactly.
it's closed. Like we'll have your information on file. So if we need more playtesters, perhaps for like a server stress test or something, then we already have your information.
Yeah, exactly. So that's pretty much it for the test for that question. So I think are we do we have
I think
anything
we're
else
getting pretty good. I think we're good to
close this? Oh, there's
one
a
more question.
okay.
So asking about crossovers between the different ARGs. So like Black Watchmen and NITE Team 4 working together. Yes, we want this. I
Yes.
have answered this question 1,000 times, and I'm so happy every time it's asked. We want to do this. Don't have a plan yet.
Yeah.
If I have any say in the matter, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, that's I'm pretty sure
Like
it's gonna happen.
we want this to happen. So in considering that 19.4 and Black Watchmen are both our games, once we're settled with 19.4 and its release, it's pretty likely to happen.
Yeah, exactly. So that's for future questions. Yes, we like we do want our universe like to talk together because they're all from the same universe. Like they're all from Black Watchmen.
Yeah,
It could
they
be
all
also
work under the same umbrella.
exactly,
So.
and it could be also like we were talking about Black Watchmen, but there's an hero that could come up in some form or another. I don't know, maybe all of them.
All of them at the same time.
All of them.
Mother of all crossover episodes.
Exactly. Top 10 best crossover anime crossovers, or I don't know.
So I was waiting for Palatura to get into the chat because I know that every time he's in the chat, shenanigans happen. And I wanted to share this great information about DEF CON, something silly that I did while I was there. So you know, near field communication chips that you can find in like credit cards or like you used to get onto the elevator at the office.
Yeah.
Although I don't think that one's the same. I think it's low frequency.
Okay.
So I got a chip put in my hand at
Okay.
DEF CON,
Yeah.
like inside my hand.
Okay.
And it's the coolest thing ever. And if you scan it, it will rickroll you.
Oh,
Isn't that great?
that is kind of great.
Because I programmed it to do that, but I can make it do all kinds of other nonsense. But I wanted you to know that the next time we hang out, you should scan my hand.
I will totally scan.
Maybe I'll change it.
I will scan your hand. I will
Do it.
That's the thing I do actually. I scan people's hands.
You scan, yeah. You just walk up to people. You tap your phone on their hand. Be like, oh, I wonder if there's a chip here.
That's what I wrote in my notepad. That's a reminder of who I am. It's my personal journal. It's in my notepad. I scan people's hand.
Wow, that's what a beautiful diary entry.
I know.
And yes, it is the high-tech version of pull my finger. And it's the coolest thing.
Exactly.
Like eventually I'll put something useful on there. Like I'll create like a special page on my personal website or something for like when people scan my hand, and I'll have it redirect there. But for now, definitely gonna leave it on a Rickroll.
Great. that is the future of
future
of
memes.
jokes. The future.
I could probably set up like a static or semi-static page on my personal site and just change what meme I put there.
Yeah, that could be cool. Like
That would be good. It could, like randomly generate like
someone scans your hand and they get to like a
Here you go.
vaporwave soundtrack, and they're just like chilling out to the sound of your hands.
chilling out to the sound of my hand.
Exactly. Great. So, having said all of this stuff, is there anything else on your side, Codex?
No, I think we're pretty good. I haven't seen any more questions come up while I talk about rickrolling people with my hand chip.
Great. So, if we're done, I think
Yeah.
we're gonna thank you guys to be here again this week. We always hope to
Thanks
show
for
you
the
more.
great questions.
Exactly,
You
and
know, helped a lot with facilitating discussion.
and thanks for being there every week. And I know that we have like different things to share every week, sometimes more, sometimes less. But we do try to have it entertaining every time. So thanks for staying, and don't worry. Like the more and more that we're gonna have things develop, we're gonna show all of them to you guys.
Every time there's something new and shiny, we're gonna make sure you see it.
Exactly. So that's pretty much it for this week.
So yeah.
So stay tuned for the following weeks. There's gonna be a lot of stuff coming, that's for sure, as we're playing the release of the Academy and other stuff. So well, have a good weekend and see you next week.
Yeah. Bye guys.
Closing root access. Goodbye.